I live in a small cul-de-sac in the middle of nowhere. The nearest neighborhood is about 4 miles away, and our tiny circle of houses is surrounded by nothing but woods and open fields. It's the kind of quiet place where you notice every little sound and every little thing that doesn't belong. A few years ago, during the middle of winter, we got hit with a massive snowstorm overnight. I woke up to over 1.5 feet of snow covering everything. The trees, the rooftops, even burying some of the mailboxes. Since we're so far from any main roads, I already knew that our little street wouldn't be plowed for quite some time. It was a weekend too, which made it even worse. That morning, I decided to take a look outside. I walked over to the sliding glass door that leads out to my back deck. The view was beautiful. Snow-draped trees, the heavy white flurries still falling, everything calm and silent. I took out my phone to snap a few pictures, and that's when I noticed something strange. There were footprints in the snow. They led right up to my back door. Then they turned around and went back the way they came. At first, I figured it must have been one of my neighbor's kids. A few of them were known to be troublemakers, and honestly, I thought it was some harmless prank, especially because I noticed my inflatable sledding tube, the one I kept tied to the deck railing, had been popped. That just confirmed it for me. Some kid had come over in the night to mess around. It was still pretty early, so I decided not to bother their parents yet. I went back inside, made some coffee, and sat down on Facebook to kill time. That's when I saw a post that made my stomach drop a little. One of my neighbors, a woman who lived closer to the entrance of our cul-de-sac, had written, "Did someone knock for me or something at my back door?" That caught my attention immediately. I called her right away and told her what I'd seen. After a short talk, I started to get this uneasy feeling, so I decided to check with a few other neighbors. I called the first house near the entrance and explained what was going on. He went to look, and sure enough, he said the same thing. Footprints leading right to his back door, and then away again. That's when everyone started calling everyone else. We went down the street, checking one house after another. When I called the family at the very end of the cul-de-sac, they said they didn't see anything unusual. No footprints around their place at all. But a few minutes later, I got another call. It was my next-door neighbor. She had just gotten off the phone with the woman who lived next to that last house, the one at the farthest end. She told her something that made the hair on my neck stand up. She said there were footprints leading to her back door, but none leading away. By this point, we had already contacted the police once just to report the weird footprints, but now we called again and told them it was an emergency. They said that because the roads were still buried in snow, and since they were privately maintained, they couldn't send a plow truck or patrol cars right away. Meanwhile, the woman whose house the prints ended at was starting to completely lose it. One of the husbands across the street, a huge guy, like a literal bear of a man, texted her to say he was coming over to invite her over for the day. He trudged through the snow to her house, and she went back with him for safety. A few of us decided to set up one guy's hunting cameras, the kind that send live motion alerts, around the cul-de-sac facing the main exits. We figured if anything moved out there, we'd catch it, but nothing happened. Hours went by. Finally, around 7 p.m., a plow truck showed up, followed by 3 police cars. The woman went back to her house, along with the couple she was staying with, and the police began searching inside. They didn't find anything at first, but she was hysterical and begged them to keep looking, so they did. 2 of the officers went down to check the basement again. This time, only one came back up. He quietly pulled the woman aside into another room. A few moments later, we could all hear her start sobbing uncontrollably. By now, most of the neighborhood had gathered outside, watching from the driveway. A few of us started moving toward the house, but the other officers stopped us. That's when they told us what they had found. There was a hidden opening in the stairwell, a small crawl space under the stairs that the homeowner didn't even know existed, and tucked inside, under an old cover, was a man. When they dragged him out, he was scruffy, screaming, and kicking, completely unhinged. He had apparently been living there for days. Inside his little camp, they found some of the woman's freshly washed blankets, ones she had just put away. He'd been sleeping next to her room. She didn't stay in that house alone again for a long time after that. Eventually, she sold the place the following summer. The police told us later that the man was a thrill-seeking junkie who had been on probation for assaulting a family member. He'd gotten into a fight with his roommate and taken off in the roommate's car. He must have gotten stuck somewhere near our unplowed road and decided to hole up in the first house he could find. And that's why you always make sure your doors are locked.